The other is actually a proposal. Sham Sharania had it in his tweets, and pull it up here. Okay, so the NBA is obviously trying to push the NBA Cup, which is their in-season tournament. The
Yes.
Lakers won the first one. He says here the NBA Board of Governors has discussed a proposal that the round to which a team advances in the NBA Cup would be used as the first postseason tiebreaker. League is polling GMs on NBA Cup advancement versus head-to-head result as a first tiebreaker to bring for a final vote. GMs will choose among options per sources. Number one, NBA Cup as first postseason tiebreaker. Number two, NBA Cup as second tiebreaker after head-to-head. And third, in ties involving more than two teams. And third, advancement to NBA Cup as first tiebreaker and further advancement as third and fourth. Obviously, that gets very confusing. The point is they want to use NBA Cup advancement as postseason tiebreakers. What say you, for or against?
I'm for. I wouldn't put it first. I'd probably be okay with it being second. I wouldn't put it first above head-to-head.
So head-to-head first.
I'd still put head-to-head first. But
yeah,
I get it. And this is also, it's part of all the plan to, not only get guys to play more games, but make sure people care about these playing games, because we're trying to put as many of them on national television as possible. And the more we put these, the more we sell these to TV, and the more we sell the NBA Cup to TV, we need the star players to play like stars in those games. And if we now make it that this could impact your playoff seeding and this could impact something down the line, it'll be more into it. The issue with the head-to-head, which I'd be more applying to, is there's teams that have injuries, and it sucks. If you have an injury early in the season, well, your NBA Cup's done, and now it's going to hurt you later when your guy comes back. And, you'd like to be able to say, well, if we went 52 and, or we win 40 games in the second half of the season, we lose 20 in the first, we're not going to get as punished for those 20 when our guys were hurt or when we weren't playing as well.
That's fair. No, that's a good point. So I know I was like, that's not bad, because I know they're just trying to push. They're trying to incentivize guys to take the NBA Cup seriously. And I'll say this, and we got some sound of Draymond we'll play later on in the show, because he said this on his podcast. I think that the play-in, it has worked.
Yeah. 100%.
For the most part, it's incentivized guys, or these teams later in the season they're still invested because they still have a shot. And
it's made the end of the season way better. I mean, if you look at what they made at the end of the season, look at the teams that weren't in it in the last week and how many guys they sat and who wasn't playing. That was 2 weeks, 3 weeks sometimes in the NBA. That was a much wider window and for more teams. And so the Warriors, Steph, Clay, and Draymond all would have sat out the last 2 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm. Instead, they were pushing.
And that's the thing. And now you're going to watch them play until the end. And so for everyone who buys tickets at the end of the season, everybody who's watching on TV, all those pieces, it's made the game a lot better. And it's made a lot of these games matter. That last regular season game between the Pelicans and the Lakers meant something. Yeah. Even though the Pelicans didn't play like it, it meant something.
You're right. Yeah. They had a chance to avoid the damn play-in. If they had won the game, they wouldn't even have to play them in the play if they had won the game. No, I'm a big Adam Silver fan anyway, but that's interesting that they're thinking about that. And here's another one. This is more fan theory though, and I don't know how I feel about it, but I think it actually could be fun. But the NBA doesn't operate like the NFL, meaning they don't change rules every year pretty much and then change them back. The NFL, if they change a rule and it's unpopular and it's a failure, they'll just switch it back. Like they did the catch rule. They'll go back and forth.
Yeah.
The NBA doesn't really do that. They change a rule, they stick to it. And there's some longevity to it. The NBA, how about this? And this comes from Shane Young. Shane Young is an NBA reporter, covers the NBA. He says the NBA needs to let the number one seeds pick their opponent out of a play-in pool.
No.
No.
I get it, but now you're talking about, I get it for an analyst standpoint. I get it for us to talk about. I think in the NBA it doesn't make any sense. I think it's silly for the NBA. I think it's fun for radio and it's fun for TV. Because then you can say, who would you pick if you were that? And it's a weeks of discussion of who would you pick and what team and the matchups and all of that. I think that's it. But if you take it for what the team is, all you're doing is really just delaying the inevitable. And then you're also possibly getting them to pick the team that they match up better against, which could make a worse series. which you don't want a worse series. You want them to have to face the harder team. So the reality is you'd want them to pick one, and then the other one you go, ha, we tricked you. It's the other ones. That's what you'd rather have because you want the best series. Like the Celtics probably would have taken the 76ers instead of the Heat. And I know if Jimmy Butler's hurt, they'd take the Heat, but they'd say we played the Heat last year. And they came in and punched us in the mouth. We don't want to play the Heat again. We'll play the 76ers.
It's crazy to think they believe that. That's just because of matchups, because the 76ers are a more talented team.
Oh, 100%. But I'm just saying,
right, just matchups.
Yeah, when you say in the way the Heat play, the Heat play a nasty, tough style. Like I remember that was the thing is everyone they give you a mouthpiece when you show up at the Heat because they're like, oh no, because you can get punched in the mouth. Like this is how we practice. You need a mouthpiece when we practice, and so it's just a different world. And so reality is I don't like it for a number of reasons. One is it's an arbitrary change that really I get it's trying to incentivize the number one seed. You don't need to incentivize the one seed. People want the one seed.
They want the one seed.
You don't need to incentivize. No one's tanking at the end of the season because they'd rather have the 3 seed. They want home court throughout. The owners want home court throughout. You get it through with the number one seed. No one is not trying to get it. So you don't need to incentivize the one seed anymore.
That's an interesting fan theory that I've seen discussed on social media.
That feels like a Celtics thing where they're afraid of one of those teams and they go, but we need more of an edge. We've already got. It
could have started with some Celtics fan.
We've got 4 All-Stars on our team, but that's not enough. We need more of an edge.
Yeah, I know it's just a fun, I think, fan discussion to have on social media.
I'm not a fan of that one. No, that one's silly.
All right.